Jr. and this is another edition of Between the Bible and the Blues. Just a little space where we can come together and hear the Word of God and reflect upon what it says to us here and now, and what our response will be. It's expressed through some words, a couple reflections in word and in song and music. Because sometimes that speaks more clearly to us. We get to bypass all this thinking stuff sometimes, and we can hear with the heart what John Wesley was calling the spiritualization of the senses, what we might refer to as sacred sight and holy hearing. Anyway, today we're going to have a very down-to-earth kind of little gathering here. So welcome, and feel free to, when it's all over, leave any comments, questions, and we'll be glad to get back with you for sure. And I want to invite you, if you dig this, subscribe to this channel and hit the little bell for notifications if you want that too. So blessings, and thank you for being here. A reading from the Gospel of Matthew, the 4th chapter, verses 18 through 25. As he walked by the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon, who is called Peter, and Andrew, his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. And he said to them, "Follow me, and I will make you fish for people." Immediately they left their nets and followed him. As he went from there, he saw two brothers, James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John, in the boat with their father Zebedee, mending their nets, and he called to them. Immediately they left the boat and their father and followed him. Jesus went throughout Galilee, teaching in their synagogues and proclaiming the good news of the kingdom, and curing every disease and every sickness among the people. So his fame spread throughout all Syria, and they brought to him all the sick, those who were afflicted with various diseases and pains, demoniacs, epileptics, and paralytics, and he cured them. And great crowds followed him from Galilee, the Decapolis, Jerusalem, Judea, and from beyond the Jordan. This is the word of God for the people of God. Thanks be to God. Amen. What I really dig about this scripture is that while there's so much in there to unpack, on the surface, what calls to me is fish. And the beauty of this evangelism of the Jesus, of the Christ, is that he did not go to the synagogue and recruit or evangelize preachers or priests or folks like that. He went and got some fishermen. And the beauty of that is he did not, when he called them, ask them to become someone else. He didn't even really ask them to do anything else. He didn't ask them to change what they do so much as perhaps ask them to change how they do it. And from that, we can realize that so too are we called. And so many times it appears to be more, it can be facilitated a little easier when one has returned from a peak experience in life, say a retreat or some profound happening, or perhaps even through a period of great loss, or a period of unusual gifting, where we feel the presence of God within our lives so strongly that we feel called. We hear that voice and we know that we're being led. It appears to somewhere else. And we're moved. And we want to respond to that. And so many times perhaps we feel like that we're supposed to go do this or go do that. Go start a church, or go on another mission, or go to the top of the Himalayas and meditate, or go do some other vocational work. And that's all wonderful and all good. And yet here's the Christ saying, look, you're going to still be a fisherman. I want you to fish. You're just going to fish with me. So if you're, whatever it is that you do, whatever that job description may look like, irregardless of what other economic, sociological, or whatever other kind of implications that may have attached to it, it has nothing to do with the how, and perhaps even the why we're doing it, which ultimately means to serve. And so, if you're a hairdresser, if you're a pipe fitter down here, if you're a chef, if you're a waiter, a waitress, if you're a babysitter, if you're a teacher, even if you're a preacher, even if you're a musician, he's not saying to stop making that music. He's just saying make that music in a way that it's going to impact people's hearts perhaps a little more and heal them on some level. And right after this, we realize that Jesus is talking about this kingdom, and that is within, and it is that place of love. And immediately after this in Matthew's Gospel, we're taken to the Sermon on the Mount, the Beatitudes, whereby the Prince of Peace is fully arrived, and he heals and feeds. And that's what we're called to do in our own way, in our own small, beautiful way. And so I invite you to take that everyday kind of thing and bring the Spirit of the Christ into those moments. And it's as much about being there as it is about doing anything. It's easier to share something if you got it. If you don't have it, you can't share it. And that's what leads me to things like in the United Methodist Church, the church's mission statement is to make disciples of Jesus Christ for the transformation of the world. Heavy. But we do it in our own small little way. And in that way, it's real. And in that way, it means something. It has substance. And it has a beautiful reverberation upon those that we encounter from within ourselves, that kingdom within, the Spirit moving within the soul and being shared, being given. And you know, this thing comes full circle with Jesus. This is the very, very beginning of his ministry. And in fact, when he goes out and catches these fishermen, this is right after his baptism, his metanoia, his calling. And then we take the overarching look at his ministry and go all the way to the third time when he appears after the crucifixion. And where is he? He's on the shore. What are the disciples doing? They're fishing. Go check out John 21, the beginning of that chapter. He's on the shore of Lake Tiberias, and the cats are out there fishing. They can't catch nothing. And he says, hey, man, throw the net over there. And it just fills up. By the time they come to the shore, the Christ is there, though they don't recognize him, right? Heavy duty. He's there, and he's got a charcoal fire going. He's got some bread, and he's cooking the fish. And he says, bring me some more of them fish. Let's cook this up and break this bread. So they were fishing when they began. They were fishing through the mission. And they were fishing at the end. Leaving our nets, leaving our boat, leaving our Father on the shore. There on the shore, we're searchers, searchers, searchers in the dark. We're searchers, searchers, searchers of the heart. Healing the sick, healing the pain, healing the suffering soul in his name, in his holy name. We're searchers, searchers, searchers in the night. We're searchers, searchers, searchers of the light. Following the call, following the man, following the kingdom close at hand. It's so close at hand. We're searchers, searchers, searchers in the dark. We're searchers, searchers, searchers of the heart. We're searchers, searchers, searchers in the night. We're searchers, searchers, searchers of